with the market action. Joining me is BD8 Capital Partners CEO Barbara Doran and Crossmark Global Investments CEO Bob Dahl. Guys, happy Wednesday. Barb, so we got the PCE data this morning. I'm not sure there were many big surprises there. I haven't talked to you for a while because you've been in New Zealand. So tell me, everything that's happened, and a lot has since, anything changed your market outlook at all, or is it steady as she goes?
No, my market outlook has not changed. I mean, you saw the PCE number. It's kind of been stuck, the core PCE, around 2.7% for about 6 months. So, you're hearing the Fed say more about they're not going to ease as quickly as people might have expected. But the market is absorbing that and seems to be okay. The new uncertainty is really about tariffs. I mean, the Fed, I think, will not only can they delay, and maybe they will cut rates in this next meeting. Everybody's wondering. It's about 50-50. But with economic strength, inflation sort of holding steady, the Fed needs to see what happens with tariffs, because if President-elect Trump were to come in and do the maximum in tariffs, I think what you're seeing on the street is lots of analysis saying how much the economy would slow down, how much inflation would go up, and it would not be great. And some people think it might not be enough to offset even the tax cuts that are anticipated. So I think that's a big uncertainty. The Fed, who's always data dependent, will be watching to see. And of course, we're not going to know for a little bit of time how much is just negotiating tactics, as the market believes right now, or is real. So that's a major uncertainty that we'll be taking with us into the new year.
Okay, I want to ask you more about that in a moment. But first, Bob, you say we're in a risk-on environment with everything going on. How long does that last? What are the biggest risks to risk assets from here?
We're in a seasonally strong period, John, as you know, but the risks, we just talked about it, Barbara just outlined, uncertainties, 50-50 on the Fed, tariffs, yes or no. I stare at my screen. I see multiples on PE basis in the mid-20s. How good can the news be? Markets discounting a near perfect world. Maybe we'll get it, but I have a feeling there's some uncertainties out there. So fully invested, but biting my fingernails.
Barb, how certain is it that tariffs are going to have, even significant tariffs, the impact that the people, the anti-tariff crowd, thinks they will? Because there's an argument out there, well, if the U.S. is making the stuff that's being tariffed, then you shouldn't overestimate the impact of that tariffs maybe are necessary to get more to an even playing field in free trade, because the U.S. has been taken advantage of in the past. Do you put any stock, literally, in that?
Well, I think you're starting to see a lot of analysis going into this now that, that President-elect Trump has now put or hopes to put in place 2 pro-tariff people in key positions. That's the Treasury Secretary and the U.S. Trade Representative. So it looks like there are going to be some kind of tariffs. But I think when you look at, for instance, let's take autos. And we're talking about tariffs on Canada and Mexico. And this is where U.S. automakers and companies have done long-term planning, assumed this policy would be in effect a long time. And you've got 43% of car parts imports come from Mexico to our companies. So the question is, what's that going to do? Will they absorb part of it? Margins? Will they increase their prices where consumers are already at historically high rates of affordability in terms of cars? They're about shut out. And also Mexico, which some 82%, of car parts, contribute to them. So, and that's it. We're trying to stop immigration. That means helping those kind of countries grow. But I think the impact will be real, but we don't know how much it will be. And so we've had tariffs increases in the past. It's been absorbed, but you also have the threat of retaliation.
Right.
And what's the retaliation of it? In fact, the Mexican president has already been out, rattling the chains on that.